Dear partners and friends of the uMngeni Resilience Project, Ms. Carmel Bisvo, CEO of the South African National Biodiversity Institute, Mr. Tlu Ramaru, Chief Directorate Climate Change Adaptation at the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Mr. uMngeni Sitole from the uMngeni District Municipality, Dr. Mandy Barnett, Chief Director with Sambi, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. I'm honored to join this event, uMngeni Resilience Project Climate Change Indaba, organized by Sambi to disseminate the lessons learned and provide policy recommendations to facilitate scaling solutions as part of the project funded by the Adaptation Fund titled Building Resilience in the Greater uMngeni Catchment. Please accept my apologies for not being able to join you physically due to conflicting agenda. The Adaptation Fund has reached a milestone with the celebration of its 15-year anniversary last year at the COP27 Climate Summit in Egypt. The fund has supported projects and programs with over $1 billion, covering more than 100 countries since its inception under the Kyoto Protocol. At last year's COP27 in Egypt, the fund launched its new medium-term strategy for the period 2023-2027 that aims to reinforce the fund's operations in the three pillar areas of adaptation action, innovation, and learning and sharing. This project, the uMngeni Resilience Project, is one of the most successful interventions supported by the Adaptation Fund as it builds local actors' capacity to address climate change issues. The $7.5 million project, which was approved in 2014 and implemented by Sambi, was designed to reduce climate vulnerability and increase the resilience and adaptive capacity in rural and peri-urban settlements and small-scale farmers in productive landscapes in the uMngeni District Municipality, KwaZulu-Natal Province, South Africa, that are threatened by climate variability and change through the integrated adaptation approach. As the project is coming to an end in September 2023, we would like to congratulate Sambi and local partners in delivering such an impressive set of results over the last 7 years, despite the pandemic and other challenges. The project has improved preparedness and adaptive capacity of local communities and small-scale farmers, drawing on and integrating scientific and local knowledge. It has helped local communities and small-scale farmers to improve resilience and reduce vulnerability to the existing and anticipated impacts of climate change and variability. And it has facilitated scaling up and replication through capacity building and sharing of lessons and policy recommendations. At this stage of final implementation, we are very pleased that the project has delivered significant results, including, among others, 2 early warning systems for agrometeorological and fire warnings, 100% of the uMngeni district being covered by an improved monitoring network, 206 hectares of restored grassland, 5.4 kilometers of rehabilitated riparian zones, 106 kilometers of fire breaks being installed, 688 farmers having benefited from climate resilient agricultural practices, and 43% of community members in target areas having increased awareness of climate change adaptation and options to enhance climate resilience. By the end of the project, more results are expected, including, among others, more than 25,000 people, of which 13,000 women, benefiting directly from the project interventions. The 3 early warning systems supporting flood and storm, wildlife fire, and agro-meteorological warnings are expected to be functional. 300 houses, 10 kilometers of stormwater drainage channels, and 5 pedestrian bridges will have been completed according to the plan. The project also aims to support policy reforms and recommendations aimed to include adaptation considerations as a result of knowledge gained through the project. We are happy that the policy and strategic planning activities have advanced, including for rural settlement planning processes and development strategies for agriculture, human settlements, and disaster response. Funding concrete adaptation actions is at the heart of the Adaptation Fund operations. As I noticed in the program, this event includes some field visits that will help disseminate lessons learned and provide policy recommendations to facilitate scaling solutions. I'm happy that you've had a chance to visit the concrete adaptation actions funded under this project, including the Suemane climate smart agriculture, the ecological infrastructure at Bulindlela, and the early warning systems at the Richmond Fire Protection Agency and built infrastructure in Ladzuka. Addressing countries' vulnerability is more urgent than ever, and we remain committed to scaling up successful interventions like this one that demonstrate the local actors' capacity to address climate adaptation issues. Considering the successful interventions and their potential for scaling up, I urge you to identify options for scaling up some of these interventions. The Adaptation Fund, through its scaling up grants, would be available to support such approach. With this, I'd like to thank you once again for inviting me to join this event, and I wish you a very productive discussion. Thank you very much.